The News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Presidential aspirant Manny Pacquiao continues to make rounds in various parts of the country to make his presence felt before the start of the campaign period. To give us the latest, Mon Gualvez now joins us on the line from Malolos, Bulacan. Good morning, Mon. Could you tell us where Senator Pacquiao is right now?
Good morning, Charles. Senator Manny Pacquiao is set to make some visit here in the province of Bulacan. And first on his list is to make a courtesy call with Bulacan Governor Daniel Fernando, in which, when the governor was asked if this is somehow an endorsement, he denied it. Fernando is part of NUP, or National Unity Party, that is set to release their final endorsement for the presidential and vice presidential posts in the coming days. Fernando also clarified that all presidential aspirants are welcome to visit their province. As of now, or currently, Senator Pacquiao is having a private meeting with Bulacan Governor, and then Pacquiao is set to visit Jesus is Lord leader Brother Eddie Villanueva, then some pastors in the province, as well as other local leaders of Bulacan, Charles.
Right, Mon, so you mentioned Jesus Lord leader Eddie Villanueva. Does this mean that Eddie Villanueva is set to endorse Pacquiao for president?
That we need to clarify, Charles, if their meeting is an indication of endorsement or not. Because after Pacquiao's visit to Governor Fernando, he will be meeting immediately Brother Eddie Villanueva this morning.
Right, Mon, I think I saw part of Pacquiao's caravan along Ed's earlier this morning when I was on the way here. But then we heard that he also visited a public market in Makati. How did this go, and what exactly did he do there?
Yes, Charles, as early as past 6 in the morning, Senator Pacquiao visits Guadalupe Public Market in Makati, where he wants to personally check and know the prices of the products, as well as to listen to the concerns of market vendors. But on the other hand, his team says that this is also where Senator Pacquiao's household staff go to market. So this is somehow a visit only in the public market in Makati.
Right, Mon, we're looking at pictures here of Senator Pacquiao as well as a bunch of other people. It appears that social distancing was not observed here. Did they at least try to observe some health protocols?
They tried, Charles. Unfortunately, just like in any places where Pacquiao goes, maintaining the physical distancing is always a challenge. It's because of many fans, or should I say supporters, who would want to take a selfie with the senator. And aside from that, Pacquiao gave additional 1,000 to 2,000 pesos on top of the cost of the goods he bought in the said market, Charles.
Right, so Mon, part of the news today, of course, is that the Marcos-Duterte tandem is now official. Have we heard from Senator Pacquiao about this?
So far, Charles, Pacquiao chooses not to give any direct reaction or comment regarding Marcos-Duterte tandem. However, he said that in this election, everyone is welcome to run and to partner with someone else as long as they are legitimate candidates.
That being said, Mon, how is Senator Pacquiao standing with PDP Laban? Has it gotten any better?
Well, he clarifies that he did not leave PDP Laban, and as a matter of fact, there is an alliance between PDP Laban and PROMD where he was being assigned as presidential candidate. And he also mentioned that as of now, he continuously has a communication with other PDP Laban members. So far, they are in good terms pa naman daw. Charles.
All right, thanks for those updates, Mon, and do stay safe. That was Mon Gualvez reporting from Malolos, Bulacan. COMELEC has released regulations on the gun ban and security personnel during the 2022 election period. Under Resolution Number 10728, bearing, carrying, and transporting of firearms and other deadly weapons outside of residence or place of business is strictly prohibited from January 9 to June 8 of next year. Permits to carry, mission orders, or letter orders from the AFP or PNP are also suspended, except if covered by a certificate of authorization from COMELEC. But even then, officers authorized to carry firearms must be on duty and on the way to or returning from their dwelling or official station. High-risk officials, including the vice president and senators, among others, may also be exempted. And the same resolution also prohibits the availment of services of security personnel unless authorized by COMELEC. Any violation of this resolution will be considered an election offense. This means that the violator may suffer up to 6 years of imprisonment and may lose his or her right to suffrage or be disqualified from holding public office. In other news, Taal Volcano had 2 short-lived phreatomagmatic bursts this morning. In an advisory, FIVOC says that the bursts occurred at around 2 and 3 a.m. and that these produced up to 500-meter plumes. The agency said this is likely caused by fracturing and gas release from resting magma beneath the volcano. And recall that FIVOX had also recorded a phreatomagmatic burst from the volcano last Monday. FIVOX reminds the public that Taal remains at alert level 2 and said that they are closely monitoring the volcano's activity. Fully vaccinated Filipino healthcare workers are absolutely welcome to go to the United Kingdom. That's according to British Ambassador to the Philippines, Laura Bufils, in an interview with the chiefs. Bufils also said that the country signed an MOU with Labor Secretary Bebot Bello to ensure their continued commitment in taking care of Filipino nurses in the UK.
I hope that Filipinos are more than trickling into the UK, and I hope they are coming in droves because they are welcome with open arms. So we're really pleased that actually the UK has lifted its restrictions when it comes to the Philippines. Provided Filipinos do have those double vaccinations, they're welcome to come in without having to quarantine.
LRT1 is eyeing to roll out QR codes by early next year for an alternative ticketing system that will encourage cardless transactions. Let's get the details in this report from Gerard de la Peña.
Jennifer lined up at the ticket booth of LRT1's Lawton station as part of her commute home to Pasay City. She bought a single journey ticket for the ride and did not bother getting a stored value card. Jennifer says she does this as she rarely takes the train anyway, especially during this pandemic. She believes, however, that it would be more convenient for non-frequent passengers like herself if the LRT management can come up with a solution that will allow them to skip long lines just to buy single journey tickets.
Much better para kumbaga naliles yung tulad ngayon may pandemic, we'll never know, we're not seeing kung ano yung virus talaga eh.
With this, the Light Rail Manila Corporation came up with the idea of using QR codes as alternative to train tickets.
Yung problem na ina-address natin is really speed ng queuing, no. Gusto po natin mas mabilis makauwi yung mga ating passenger, and kung mas mababawasan yung time na kung saan sila nakapila, may QR code na sila, dire-diretso na po sila. Yung goal po namin is maging convenient sa kanila. So, nandyan na po yung technology, yung ginagamit po natin ay standards na base sa transportation talaga.
Here's how the QR system will work. A passenger will have to buy tickets from online payment apps. The apps, in turn, will generate the QR codes. Passengers can just tap these codes from their mobile devices on the scanners found at the turnstiles in the stations. The system is currently undergoing rigid testing and is expected to be implemented by the first quarter of next year. And if you're not techie enough, there's no need for you to worry, as you may seek assistance from trained personnel. The old system will also remain in place. Passengers can still line up at the stations or buy their cards from machines or from convenience stores. Meanwhile, the Transportation Department has started public consultation for the use of cards in any mode of public transportation. The guidelines are set to be released before the year ends. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
For a whopping $1,500 a night, you'll get to enjoy the luxuries of Cheval Blanc Paris Hotel, the coveted new 6-star hotel in the City of Light. Let's take a peek inside in this report from Bloomberg's Nikki Exty.
Paris has no shortage of exquisite hotels. The $1,500 a night Four Seasons George V, the contemporary Hotel de Crillon, and Princess Diana's favorite, the fairy tale-like Ritz. But even in this rarefied air, few convey luxury quite like the new Cheval Blanc, which opened in September right near the Louvre. What makes it so impressive? For one, there's the 100-meter-long infinity pool in the hotel's basement, one of the longest hotel pools anywhere in France. Its deck is lined with digital panels that display animated illustrations of the Seine and reflect off of a mirrored ceiling. The top-floor apartment is one of the largest penthouses in Paris, with its own pool, projection space, and panoramic terrace. That makes it a stunner top to bottom. If you haven't heard of Cheval Blanc, here's what you need to know. The brand's 4 other locations in Saint-Tropez, St. Bart's, Courchevel, France, and the Maldives are popular with billionaires who like to come in on their yachts or don their Moncler snowsuits. And the whole thing is owned by the arbiter of French luxe, LVMH. In some ways, the hotel feels as if it's an extension of the gleaming Fondation Louis Vuitton on the other side of town. In others, it feels like LVMH's Disney World, with a spa by Christian Dior and Tiffany jewels glistening in the lobby windows. But the biggest selling point at the Cheval Blanc Paris, where rooms start at about $1,500 per night, are incredible views of the Seine from countless terraces and bay windows. The riverscape dominates from almost every corner. The water's so close, it feels like you're floating magically above it. The hotel's opening in September wrapped a 16-year, $900 million undertaking by LVMH to transform the historic Samaritan department store complex. Now it's a new kind of flagship for the parent company, combining the hotel's 72 rooms and 4 restaurants with supersized retail. It gives LVMH a way to reach beyond brand loyalists and court customers for whom experiences are worth more than any one bracelet or handbag. LVMH brands are everywhere. At Plenitude Restaurant, the chef is a transplant from Cheval Blanc Saint-Tropez. A Douglas fur-lined cellar stocks exceptional P3 vintages of Dom Perignon and Chateau d'Yquem. And all the uniforms were designed by couture house Patou. Nearly everything else is courtesy of iconoclastic American designer Peter Marino, who has worked with LVMH for 2 decades on stores in Beverly Hills, London, New York, and Seoul. His bold aesthetic is everywhere. The 7th floor brasserie is all retro red and yellow, inspired by Jasper Johns. And the lobby art is monumental, with abstract canvases and photography so large they'd hardly fit in any apartment. But don't worry, the rooms are much quieter. They bear Cheval Blanc's signature tone-on-tone aesthetic, with lots of velvet and tweed, marble, and stone. Add giant dressing rooms, decadent tubs, and entire walls of windows, and they're like small personal palaces from which to take in the city of light. I'm Nikki Eckstein. This is Where To. For more stories like this, follow us on your favorite platforms.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. Vaccinated healthcare workers may get booster shots starting today. Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte and former Senator Bongbong Marcos confirmed their alliance for the 2022 polls. And House Majority Leader Martin Romualdez denies that there's a leadership coup brewing at the lower house. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.
Check 1, 2, 3.